Hey everyone, Andre here, along with Joey, to discuss the latest Miyamoto Direct. That's right, Miyamoto took over the Nintendo Twitter to tweet out something a little disappointing, being that the Mario movie has been delayed. It was originally scheduled to release right around Avatar 2 later this year in December, but it's now been pushed to spring of next year in both America and Japan at the least, for which we have, or for everywhere, but we specifically have release dates for those two territories, being April 28th in Japan and April 7th in North America. So we're getting it a few weeks earlier here. So, with all the release day shenanigans happening with Nintendo recently, I thought it's time, or really Joey thought it was time, to get together and discuss all of this, most of the Nintendo movie, but we'll talk on, or touch on a few other things as well. Joey, what's your gut reaction to this? What do you think about this news of the Mario movie being pushed to next year?
Here's the real reason why I wanted to have a discussion. I need to brag about this, because Sonic the Hedgehog 2 released on my birthday this year. Well, technically a day after, but you know, no movie releases on its release day anymore.
Yeah, time zones are weird too, right? So exactly. I'm sure somewhere, yeah.
Yeah, and now I'm getting Mario on my birthday next year. What's going on, Hollywood? Do you love me this much? If you loved me, you'd put me in more movies, but, you know.
You do have a background in film too, right? So Hollywood's dropping the ball here. So
exactly.
I'm just glad we recognize your talents here, Joey.
Exactly.
So
I should be Mario instead of Chris Pratt. I'm sorry.
Yes,
I'm a little more
should.
handsome. But yeah, this is some pretty wild news. I'm kind of not surprised because we haven't seen a trailer for this movie yet. However, you know, we didn't see a Sonic the Hedgehog 2 trailer until 4 months before the movie even came out. So, and I have a gut feeling we'll probably see a trailer maybe at this year's Game Awards for the Mario movie. Maybe, if Nintendo decides to show up there, but we'll see. It's pretty interesting news to see that not only are Nintendo shuffling around their dates for games, but they're also shuffling around their dates for this movie. So it's really interesting to see. And Hollywood in general has just been shuffling their movie dates around.
Right.
Warner Brothers just shuffled around their DC slate of movies for the next year or so. We got delays for the Across the Spider-Verse films. Now it's like movies and the new games. Everything's getting delayed.
Yeah, there's been a lot of rescheduling in Nintendo's game library recently for this year. You know, we've had the delay of, or the indeterminate or to be determined release date for Advance Wars, of course. We just got the release date for Splatoon 3, which is later than a lot of people expected, late summer. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 got moved up a couple of months, and then of course Breath of the Wild 2 got pushed out to next year as well. So now, you know, I wonder, are those two going to come around at the same time now? Breath of the Wild and a Mario movie? That wouldn't be a bad combo. So, but to your point, yeah, we had not heard really much about this movie at all. We still don't really know anything about the plot, at least officially. There have been like some supposed leaks. We have no idea if those are real or not. But we've seen no trailers, no actual assets from the movie, and they would have had to start showing that pretty soon. For comparison, because as I mentioned earlier, the Mario movie was originally planned to open, I believe, a week after Avatar 2 in December, or right around that same time. And rumor is Avatar 2 is about to be shown at some theatrical conference, and it's going to be, I think, paired with the new Doctor Strange movie.
Yes,
based again on rumors. So, yeah, so that means the Mario movie would have to have been shown too. And my immediate thought about this whole thing was, well, two thoughts. One, I actually had a feeling this was going to happen. It just didn't, the timing just didn't feel quite right for it. And it's partially because, point number two, you don't take on James Cameron. You don't take on James. There are people out there who always doubt him. They doubted Titanic, they doubted Avatar. They're still doubting Avatar 2. It does not matter. You don't take on the person who's had the two number one movies of all time, or two of the number one, at some point at least, number one movies of all time. That's just a fool's errand. Even if the Mario movie seems to be a different demographic, why take the risk? Why take that chance? Now, with that being said, Joey, Miyamoto didn't actually say what the reason was for this delay. He didn't attribute it to quality or like it needing more time. He just said, after discussing it with the movie's producer, I believe, which is what's his name? Do you
Chris
remember?
Meledandri.
Thank you. Who also is, I think, who also has a role at Nintendo officially as well, I believe now. He just merely said that after discussing with them, we decided to delay it. So it could purely be for practical business-related reasons rather than an actual quality based concern. But what do you think, Joey? Do you have any thoughts on that?
I feel like it could be either or.
Yeah.
It's interesting because, you know, one of the movies that was delayed was Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, both Part 1 and Part 2. And those are animated films. Animated films, I feel like they would have to take longer in the oven to come out. Maybe that's part of the reason why it was delayed too. In my professional opinion, it could be both. It could be very much that, hey, we can't release this in the holidays because it's just way too packed, especially just with Avatar 2, which, yeah, that movie's gonna make bank. Let's be honest. As mediocre whatever as the first one was story-wise, people are still gonna think, oh, Avatar 2, let's go see it. Yeah, and especially when it's releasing so close to the holidays, it's still gonna make money. Probably not as much as the first Avatar, and it probably won't break any like records that the first one did or Avengers Endgame did, but a lot of people are going to see it. And yeah, the Mario movie is going to be a different demographic. Animated movies always make bank when they're good, or at least passable, which who knows what the Mario movie is going to be. We still don't know that, but yeah, bottom line is, we don't know. It could be both. It could be one or the other.
Miyamoto did say it will be worth our time. Like, he is very adamant that the quality is not, like, I guess to my point earlier, or more to the lack of thereof, he didn't say it's due to, the delays due to quality, but he reassured us that the movie is quality. So, whether or not, they're going to use this extra time to further enhance the movie, like, this isn't a huge delay. Like, it's a 4 to 5 month delay. It's not that big in the grand scheme of things. If the movie had major issues, I think we'd see a larger delay. So clearly Miyamoto, I'm assuming, seems to be happy, but then again, it's all PR at the end of the day. It could be that they are desperately trying to make this movie work, and like,
he's not gonna say, yo, this movie sucks, we're delaying it to make it suck a little less.
Like, this movie is actually super important for Nintendo. Look, I mean, after the original Mario movie, and after that bombed and the critical reaction to it, Nintendo shied away from movies forever outside of Pokemon, which, is a TPC thing anyway. So Nintendo, like, this is their big return to the box office, and they need it to be good if they want to continue to make movies more down the line and continue to explore media outside of just games, which Nintendo's been very focused on the past few years, as with Super Nintendo World, and I'm sure we'll see more things coming up in the future.
Can you imagine just the future of Nintendo movies if this movie succeeds? Like, I want to see it succeed just because we could possibly see a Legend of Zelda movie or even that Netflix series, because we all want to have faith in Netflix again, don't we? But I'm just imagining the possibilities of media outside of games for Nintendo in the future, because they did say, like, this is part of, like, their plan to reach beyond just games, like, to get people really interested in our IP, or their IP rather, without people needing to play games. And if this fails, we're gonna look at probably another 20 years of no Nintendo movies.
Yeah, that's the concern. Like, we had all those rumors about Netflix making a Zelda movie or show, and that never happened. Apparently because Nintendo canceled it due to leaks. Whether or not that's true or not, it just, I want it to happen. Like, it's like, that sounds awesome. So the Mario movie needs to be good so we can get more media outside of just games, because there's so much untapped potential that it's actually amazing Nintendo's held off as long as they have, because they have really just been leaving money on the table by not licensing it out at the very least. And of course, in the case of the Mario movie, we know they've been very hands-on with it, seemingly, very much involved in the creation process, and I really just can't wait to see how this ends up. So if this ends up with an even better movie, completely worth it. Like, it's not even that big of a delay once again. We're waiting a few additional months. And again, with Avatar 2, for me at least, being really excited for that, I'm like, oh, good, I don't need 2 huge movies back to back. I'd like some breathing time between those, so... yeah, and it seems like this, I guess your weekend, or your birthday is a magical day now for video game movies, so maybe they saw a Sonic movie, they're like, wow, that's doing really well, let's not chance it.
It needs to be this exact date for every single movie. That's what made the Sonic 2 movie successful, was that date. Actually, I wonder if this part of this does have to do with the Sonic movie and how well it did. Like, it's not like they're gonna go back in and just rewrite everything and just after seeing that movie, but yeah, I'm not sure exactly what the producer line of thinking is there, but yeah, I mean, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 swept everyone off their feet when it came out, and it's still
the Oscars.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know.
I mean, there actually is a good point to that. Like, it is entirely possible that they operate like we do on YouTube here. It's like, well, this type of video did well on this day or time, so why not try to recreate that? And you see the success of Sonic 2, and then you look at the fact that your current date competes with Avatar, it seems like a no-brainer. Let's go with the April date, where we know a video game movie has done well before, and it gets us out of the way of James Cameron. So, doesn't seem like such a bad idea. Joey, so how are you feeling overall about the Mario movie at this point? Like, do you feel even better now, or are you like a little are you a little iffier on it at this point? Like, maybe this does suggest there could be possible concerns with it.
I can't have an opinion on this movie until I see a trailer. That's the way I see it. Like, I can't...
Until you hear Chris Pratt as Mario.
Exactly. I can't get excited until I hear what Keegan-Michael Key sounds like as a
yes,
Toad.
as Toad. It's gonna be amazing. Oh, I can't wait. Yeah, I legit I'm excited for it. I hope this is just additional time means it'll be an even better movie than it was. And yeah, like I said earlier, I just need it to be good. Like, it has to be good. We need more. Oh, Nintendo has so many properties. You know, Metroid could be something. You know, I mean, if you can make Halo into a okay TV show, I'm sure Metroid could at the least match that.
I was like, don't let Paramount Plus touch Metroid, please.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Even though it had a massive budget, it's like, I don't quite see where it's going until the most recent episode. We're like, oh, that's where the entire budget went. The one action scene.
I heard that episode was really good, and I'm like,
you should actually watch.
I don't want to suffer through 3 more episodes of mediocrity, though. So
just skip to it. Just skip right to the action. That's all that matters. Yeah.
Skip right to it. Good.
Joey, do you have any other thoughts about the delay of the Mario movie?
A delayed movie is eventually good. A rushed movie is the Emoji Movie.
like a great man once said, from Miyamoto himself, a direct quote.
Exactly. It wasn't Andre's tweet, don't worry about it. I was actually trying to combine your tweet and Jake's tweet into one, but, you know.
I respect the effort. Yeah, this has been a very interesting time for Nintendo. I don't think I've seen this much... I almost want to see uncertainty. I guess it's almost more certainty even with the release date schedule. Like, we've had so many things moving around recently. I think this is just we're seeing the ramifications or the catch-up effect of COVID, or, you know, coming out of it, as it seems we are to a degree, at least businesses are. Yeah. And it seems like Nintendo's kind of finalizing their schedule now and realizing that they have a lot on their plate, and I think there's even more than we even know about at this point. There's, of course, the rumblings of a 1-2 Switch sequel. There's probably even more beyond that hasn't been announced for this year, and it seems like Nintendo's just taking a look to like reevaluate their schedule. Not that the movie ties particularly into all this, but the timing of all this does seem interesting. We've had so many release dates being thrown about. It's like, I think Nintendo's just figuring out where do we put all of it.
They're gonna realize, oh crap, the Mario movie is coming out too close to Breath of the Wild 2. Now we gotta delay Breath of the Wild 2 again, everyone.
So sad. There is one other point I just thought of, Joey, about this, though. Speaking of games and release dates, I believe there were rumblings that Nintendo might be working on a game to launch alongside the movie.
Ooh.
And that's another point of consideration. What if it's the game, if this exists, what if the game fell behind? It's like, wow, we can't release the movie without the game, or, you know, have the game in the state at the time of the movie. So perhaps that's another point to factor. And even if that's not the case, if this game does exist, it would presumably be delayed alongside the movie as well, pushing it out of its December time slot into, April now.
What if it's Odyssey 2? That would be amazing. Well, it's more than likely the Donkey Kong game we've heard so much about, and he's being voiced by Seth Rogen in the game and the movie. What do you know? It ties in perfectly. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. So we'll just have to see. What if they just go full on Super Mario Bros. The movie, the game, developed by THQ?
Oh my God! Get some NFTs in there.
Yes. Use cutscenes from the actual movie. Oh my goodness! Widescreen format and everything.
Perfect. Yeah. Point is, we just need to see this movie. I want to see a trailer. I want to see something. But I think it's gonna be a bit longer to wait now, Joey. So if you had to guess, when would you say we're finally gonna see this movie? I know you mentioned the Game Awards earlier. Do you think that's it, or do you think we can see it before then?
If it's not at the Game Awards, it's probably going to be that month, I would hope.
Yeah. What if they paired the trailer with Avatar 2?
That would be insane. I would love it. I want them to don't even show the trailer before the movie. Do what they did with 10 Cloverfield Lane and show the trailer. Nobody's heard of this movie. It's not even online yet. Here it is before the movie. That would just be awesome.
I hope it's just as mysterious too. They just lean in. I don't know what it could be. I just want it to be a weird trailer.
You think it could be a sequel to the Batman already, and then all of a sudden it's Mario.
I love it. That's exactly it. Joey, any final thoughts at all?
I hope it's good. Let's just hope it's good. Give it a solid 61% on Rotten Tomatoes. That would make me happy.
That's about where the Sonic movies hover, isn't it? I think in the 60s. Yeah. So if that is what it takes, if that's what Mario movie gets, I think we're gonna be looking at a pretty good thing on our hands. But I think it being a video game movie, it inherently just isn't going to appeal to some people. So people are just not going to get it, or they're not going to care about it. So honestly, it's going to be the fan reaction that matters more than anything here. And that's why I'm excited to see that. Like, this is going to be a movie that, I mean, for one, I hope we can get into like a preview screening. But even if not, or even if we do, I want to be there like opening day for this thing. I want to see it with a crowd like Mario fans and seeing people like either losing it or like, you know, I want to see their reactions, whatever they may be.
Losing it in a good or bad way, you know?
Exactly. However they're losing it, I want to see it. All right, well, that's it for us here, everyone, I think. That is our discussion on the Mario movie delay. So, of course, stay tuned to GameXplain for more on the Mario movie once we hopefully find out more about it, which is going to be a little longer now, but, you know, who knows? Maybe they could surprise us with the trailer sometime before December this year. But in any case, I can't wait to see it, and we'll be there to talk about it. So, thanks for watching, everyone. Stay tuned to GameXplain for more on the Mario movie and everything else Nintendo as well. We'll catch you later. Bye, everyone.